Okay, I got the frame rails put in on both sides. So I've cut this back here, so I'm going to plate that down to the bottom of the 2x4 on each side. So I cleaned it up. It's got a bit of a weird angle on it because this comes up as it comes towards this. So I'll plate that down and then gusset this back onto this main tube just to get that a little stronger so it's not such a hinge point here. So I'll do that and see how that goes. It's Sunday the 27th of February now. Getting a few more things done. Got the frame rail kind of connected into there. I still have a weld to do down the inside. Got everything on the back sorted out. So I'm connected into the 2x4 rectangular tube there with the 2x2 here, right at the cross and back to the tail panel. I'm replacing these two supports here that go to the bumper bolts. I've got a couple of brackets on here right now down to the frame just to keep the back in place while I had all this cut out. This side is finished as well. I've got the floor, the trunk floor test fit in here. I'm raising the front. I'm raising the front along here because I want more height for my fuel tank. So the original car seems to slope down a bit towards the front when I put this pan in. Mine's gonna slope up a little bit just to get me enough space there to get a tank that has a decent fuel capacity. And my exhaust will come through here where I've cut a window in this. The exhaust will come through here and across and tuck under the frame rail. And then from there it's undecided. I don't know if it's going to go into a muffler. It's going to depend on how much space there is. And this here I've got clamped down. I actually split this back to the corner here because I raised the front. This section ended up above the rail. Let me go on a wide angle. So this section here ended up above the rail, so I cut it and dropped it down. I've got that marked on each side, so I'll trim that back. And before I tack anything, and I still need to clean up all the points where it's going to touch, I have a piece of light angle, this right here, which I'm going to get a couple of spacers, probably 1/2 inch spacers, and I'm going to clamp it to the frame rail on each side so it runs across the floor, and that way I know that the floor is at the right height all the way across and level before I tack this section here in. So that'll be the next thing to do. Hopefully by the end of the first week of March, I can have that all in. And then I need to make a couple little angles that come up. I'm just welding to the center of the frame rail right now until I get the quarter panels and everything here sorted out, because then I can make the joint along the top here and then put seam sealer on the bottom rather than joining it halfway through a sheet, which is a little more difficult to get a good finish on each side. All right, that's it for now. Okay, so now I've put the trunk pan in and I positioned these where I wanted them. Sorry. So I put the pan in where I wanted. I clamped this to the rail, put a line there with my soapstone. This side I've cut already, so I'll put this back down to where it belongs, put a few clamps on there, get a tack here and there just to hold it. I'll put it in place in the trunk, make sure it's good where it is. Actually, I'll probably put it into the trunk before I tack anything. So I'm going to cut this side, put it in place, put a few tacks, and then take it out and finish weld it. Got the trunk put in place, so it's welded across there. So some cleanup to do on these welds. This is welded in here. Same on the other side. Welded in across there. I still need to do the seam where it meets here. I've got it welded across there. It doesn't fit this tail panel exact because this is a 69 that has the filler below the bumper behind the license plate here. I'm moving it to here. So this is a 67, 68 pan with the gas tank filler that comes up through here. Because this is too low, I won't be able to fill my tank. I've raised the front of the trunk floor so I can get a higher fuel pump module in here. And if I fill it from all the way down there, I'll never be able to get to the top of the tank anyways. So I'm excited about this. This is the first time that the front of the car has been connected all the way to the back in quite a few years actually. So it's actually connected from the tail panel here through the frame rails up to there and all the way to the front of the car. So still a bunch of little fab work, like cleanup stuff to do. And then I want to get the car either on a rotisserie or at least over on its side so I can finish weld all of the bracing on the bottom. And before I do that, I gotta finish this floor off. So I'm hoping by the end of this weekend to have this section finished and that section finished at least up to the frame rail. And I should probably have a little angle to weld in here so that the wheel well is connected here. I should probably do that before I put it on a rotisserie or flip it on its side just to get a little more structure in it. So that'll be next.